Hello friends, I am Vyasu Thakur. Today we will discuss about the basics of econometrics. Before that, we should have to know about the rationale behind econometrics and but is econometrics, what is the meaning of econometrics. So in literally sense, the econometrics basically it refers to the measurement of economic theory or a measurement of a hypothesis. Basically, econometrics empirically verify the hypothesis and further it becomes a part of policy formulation. There are various methodological steps by through our hypothesis becomes a part of a policy formulation. So the first step in econometrics validation of a theory is the formulation of a hypothesis. Hypothesis basically it is an educated guess or the hunch of a knowledge or assumed phenomena. Uh, Later on, it becomes a part of policy formulation. If, for example, we hypothesize that the consumption is a function of income. For example, if consumption depends on income, then it is a educated guess and it is assumed phenomena. And how to quantify it, we need the specification of that hypothesis or that hunch of the knowledge. So next step comes across we come across with the specification of an econometric model. That is, if we hypothesize that consumption is a function of income, then we need to modify it in an appropriate or reliable model. So we quantify it through a mathematical model, that is yi is equal to alpha plus beta xi, where the yi is quantified as dependent variable and xi is identified as independent explanatory or controlled variable. So here alpha is our intercept term that shows basically the average, and beta is a slope term that shows the margin. Basically by through beta we can formulate that how much proportionate change in our dependent variable that may affects through the change in independent variable, that is xi. And alpha, as earlier I have told, that it is the average or intercept term, and we represent this mathematical model through the figures, also through the graphically representation. But there are problem with that mathematical model because it shows only the one-way causation or causal relationship, linear causal relationship between the variable. The income may not be only the variable, only the factor that may affect our consumption level, but there may be various variables or factors that may affect our consumption level. So to include these variables, we have to reformulate our mathematical model that we have further we include the error term that basically uh, conclude all that factors that may affect our consumption level besides our income xi. So after the reformulation of a mathematical model, the our model becomes econometric model by inclusion of error term, that is y is equal to alpha plus beta xi plus epsilon I. There are a number of assumptions uh, with regard to our error term. Later on we will discuss that also. That is also known as Gauss Markov assumption. So if we formulate the econometric model, then our next step is the estimation of unknown parameters. Here unknown parameters are the alpha and beta, because we didn't know about our intercept term and also as well as slope term. So to estimate these parameters, we have various methods like ordinary least square method, maximum likelihood method, moment method, etc. But of course, mostly we use for our convenience as ordinary least square method, uh, because it is easy one to estimate. And after the estimation of these parameters, the next job is to the verification or statistical inference of our model. So there are various parametric and non-parametric tests through which we can verify our model, and by assuming the significance as well as confidence level, we on the basis of that we either reject or accept the null hypothesis and also the alternative hypothesis. So if we verify or statistical inference of a model, the job of our empirical validation is almost conclude. So the last step in the methodological steps of econometrics or validation of econometric hypothesis or theory, the last one is forecasting or policy formulation. If we appropriately empirical verified our hypothesis, then it becomes a theory, and it also becomes a part of a policy formulation, and we can implement it as a part of our economy, our system. So friends, today it is enough for today. Later on in upcoming upcoming lectures, we will discuss some other basics of econometrics that may be helpful for you. And at last I want to thank all the listeners. Thank you very much.